Hello AP Chemistry families, I'm Mr. Morse, giving you a quick overview of the course and the Canvas page. So the Canvas page is pretty standard with all of our links here. If you have questions and want a little bit more information, our first stop is the contact info where you can email me or send me a message through Talking Points, and we'll hit a few other highlights, but those are mostly for students as they navigate. Some things that are important to families, but also to the structure of the class, is how we organize our units and our topics. AP Chemistry is among the toughest content that a student can take in high school. It is a college chemistry course, and it is not just a one-semester college chemistry course. It covers the content from two college chemistry courses, so like a Chem 120 and 121, or 115 and 116. In fact, scoring a 5 on the AP exam often will test you all the way out of general chemistry and straight into organic chemistry if that's the path that you choose. That means we're going to do a lot of hard stuff. But the course itself is designed by the College Board to have a lot of time and a lot of depth, and by me and here at Westfield to have a lot of support to go along with all those challenges. So one of the main things is that we are able to spend a lot of time covering each topic. Unlike a college course that may meet twice a week or at most 3 times a week, we obviously have class every day, but that everyday time means that we're able to spend a lot of time in the lab, a lot of time working with our peers, and a lot of time seeing the topics 2 to 3 different ways. And because AP students tend to be very busy, maybe in other advanced courses, have a job in extracurriculars, in athletics, helping out a lot at home, it's very important to be organized. So for each unit, students will get a big picture look as to how are we spending our class time, here in green, not just for this week, but for several weeks in a row. When do we have assessments like these quizzes, and when do I need to be ready for a test? And that's not until the 9th of September, and in this case, students have known that for quite some time. The time in class, as well as the time that they have at home, give us the opportunity to take those high-level content and high-level skills and repeat it in a lot of different ways. We try to do several labs. We see 4 labs, 1, 2, 3, 4 in 3 weeks, so that we can be exposed to new and different ways of thinking about the concepts and the skills that we have, but also to really apply it in a hands-on chemistry way. We will obviously do notes, do discussion, but one of the most important things in an AP class, specifically an AP Science class, is challenging ourselves and working with one another. So we have a lot of time set up for students to find support from one another and from me in class. A couple things that are important and unique is that because the course is a pretty challenging course, the exam that we're preparing for in May is a challenging exam. Students will find lots of success based upon the level of preparation we can get to, but that doesn't mean we're not going to do hard questions. And one of the ways we're going to get ourselves ready for hard questions is with hard practice. So we will do 2 to 3 quizzes per unit, and those are going to be fairly challenging. They're going to ask students to do something in a way they've never seen it before. Students often want to know, what can I study? What can I practice? What do I need to do? And there is never an easy answer other than from all of the labs, from all of the practice, from all of the notes, these are the skills, and we want to just keep building our ability to solve and use those skills in a new way. Some quiz scores will come lower than what the student expects, but we have with each quiz an opportunity for reflection, but more importantly, after that opportunity for reflection comes an opportunity for relearning and earning more points on that quiz. So we might see grades dip a bit on quizzes, but there is an opportunity to earn many of those points back through extra practice that's going to make them an even stronger student. The tests are also going to be very challenging questions, and we'll use our class time in order to make sure we're as prepared as we could be with the skills and the content, but it is intended to ask them and to challenge them in a new way. This is stressful to students who've gotten really good at learning a process and repeating that process until they've mastered it. Because we can learn a skill and repeat certain content and definitions, but when it's applied in a new way, it can still be hard. The advantage of testing in this way is that each time we do this, we get better and better as thinkers, as scientists, as chemists, and then we're able to enter our next science class and any college courses very well prepared for any and all challenges. Test scores get adjusted, corrected, and or curved to make them appropriate for the class. I often will tell a student, if you worry about doing the learning, I will worry about giving a grade that is worthy of your effort and your learning. Yes, it will be hard, but earning the grade that you want may not be as challenging as what the content implies. So we have several different types of assignments. If you're curious about the grading policy for each type of assignment, it's listed here. Homework versus quizzes, quizzes versus labs, and labs versus tests. But in the long run, it works out to a nice buildup of practice, where we have lots of opportunity to improve, quizzes, where we have opportunities to practice and reflect with an extra chance as needed, and then by the time we get to the test, we are ready to be at our best, but there are still chances after that to learn from that. One thing that's important is students staying on top of assignments. So if something has been due and we're past the due date, a student will earn a 0 on that, but my late work policy is very generous because I don't assign things just to give grades. I assign things that will help them understand content more. So even when a student falls behind, I'm going to hold them accountable to getting those things done. So that probably opened as many questions as answers about AP Chemistry, about grading, and about the course. I think many of them will be answered by the students themselves as we grow together. But if there's ever something we are not on the same page on, or you just want a little bit more clarity because you're not understanding it the way a student is explaining it, reach out to me and I will be there to support you and to support the students to have this be a very successful year, even if it may be a class that is harder than something we've taken before.